Today, we're going to Alabama, where two separate murders, totally unrelated to one another, have become cold cases. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hi, I'm Pearl.
And I'm Batman. No, I'm Holly. That just popped in my head.
Oh my goodness. You are Catwoman.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Well,
Another exciting episode.
happy Memorial Day, folks.
Yeah. The old Memorial Day.
Happy. Is it really happy?
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
mean,
saying. I'm like,
how
what's
do you
happy
wish
about
someone a
it?
happy
Yeah.
Memorial Day?
Right. Remember that person that,
Right. Gave all.
Right.
There's that. I guess you hope to have happy memories of said people, but sucks that you have to.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Although I did get invited to a rager
Oh, yeah?
by, I would say he was probably like in his 80s or older.
At least, yeah. At least the 80s, yes.
We have an old feller that rides on his little rascal scooter around where we work, and
He's super sweet.
he's very sweet. And sometimes he like knocks on our door. He doesn't come into the,
Building.
building,
No, he knocks on the
but
on
we'll
the
go
door.
to the door and talk to him, and he's like super sweet. He just wants somebody to talk to. He's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that we are invited to a cookout, and he hired a DJ. And I'm like,
What?
go, Grandpa. It's your birthday. I'm almost tempted to go. I'm like, this is going to be awesome.
That's so fun.
So, yeah, got invited somewhere.
He did just go to Italy.
Yep,
So,
he sure did.
yeah.
So,
He was supposed to come tell us how his trip went. I haven't heard.
Quite the go-getter.
Yeah.
So, he hasn't given up on life. He's still out there living it to the fullest, as should everyone.
Young feller.
Mm-hmm. Young feller at heart. But not on his cart.
Out and about on his cart. Yeah, he's always passing by, get out of my car, and he's like, "Good morning, young lady."
Yep.
Like, good morning.
Yeah. He asked me, he's like, "Well, you and your husband." I was like, "No. There's no husband anymore." And he's like, "Oh, you're not dating anybody?" I said, "No, sir. Sure not.
Enjoying the life.
Enjoying the single woman life." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "Well, I got a girlfriend." I said, "Okay, well, good for you."
There you go.
Him out here rolling around, and he's got a girlfriend.
Talking about his lady.
That's right. My lady. So where are we going today?
So we're going to go to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to do 2 cold cases because neither one has a ton of stuff, but need to get them out there, Maybe somebody has some information to help warm them up.
Absolutely.
Always worth trying. And they're both young people. It's going to be Christian Boyle. He was 18. And Kandace Faulk, she was 22.
Okay.
Both were murdered. They're not related at all as far as the cases go.
So they're just two separate incidents.
Yeah, completely separate incidents. have nothing to do with one another. It's just they're short, and I figured it was best to just combine them into one episode.
And a lot of the short ones don't get as much attention because there's not a lot of information or a backstory or anything like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's good to add some shorts in there just so they get some exposure.
One has a little more than another, and then one of them has like a very odd situation that we'll talk about that happens post-death, which we will all find absolutely crazy.
Okay.
So that one will be second.
Okay.
We'll talk about that one last. So we're going to talk about Christian Boyle first. His mother would describe him as trusting and always willing to help. She said she talked to her son every day.
Mm-hmm.
Same girl, because I make it a point to talk to my kids every day. If I don't hear from them, it's weird, so I check. Right before Christian disappears, his father was ill, so he was calling pretty frequently, checking on his dad. And on December 12th, 2017, he was actually supposed to go to his parents' house. He had planned on going there to do his laundry.
Okay.
He doesn't show up. He's not answering his phone. He's not returning any calls. And there's no activity on any of his social media accounts. That's another thing with, like, Rayanna, maybe I don't see so much from her, but Aiden is, like, Insta heavy.
Yeah. So, you're, like, tracking him down. You're like, let me check Instagram.
Yeah.
See where he's at. What he's doing.
Right. So, I mean, at that point, his mom's like, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Something is definitely got to be wrong. The next almost 2 weeks.
Oh, shit.
His family and friends are basically searching every area to look for any sign of Christian where they would have thought he would have been. For, like, people who knew his daily habits and what he typically did, they were, looking in all these places, trying to see if there were any signs of Christian. So he and his car are missing. And it's like poof, basically. Like, everybody's just not seeing it anywhere.
Completely
and
disappeared.
It was all of a sudden. On Christmas night in 2017, there was a group of people that were out riding four-wheelers, and they see Christian's car on Cold Branch Road. They call the cops, and when the police get there, they find Christian Boyle shot to death, laying, they don't know if it's inside or outside of his car, but he's with his car.
Right.
This was in Blount County, and at the time of the occurrence, the Blount County Sheriff's Office would say that they had two main suspects who actually were in the Jefferson County Jail, but there was not enough evidence to proceed with any charges. In 2020, the Blount County DA, Pamela Casey, had asked the Alabama Attorney General's office to do like a review of the case. They accepted, and in 2023, I guess they had asked for like an update to see what the status of the case was and any clarification on who was handling it. And DA Casey said that she asked for the AG's cold case unit to assist in the investigation. And if there were any future charges, her office would be handling that. So there's really no update as far as if they are looking back at these same people, if there's any new suspects, any new information.
Yeah, just not a lot to go on at this moment.
No.
And that makes it so hard in these cases because you're grasping at anything and everything you can, but everything just dissolves. It goes nowhere.
Right. I know that it's painful for the
Mhm.
families
Yeah,
to
and
have to
frustrating.
sit and they're
Yeah.
like, everything's still
Especially when they're like,
in
"Oh, we
limbo.
may have a lead," and then it turns out to be nothing, and it's like the
Right.
pain you feel all over again
Right.
because you got your hopes up that maybe something, they would have caught somebody or something would have
Mm-hmm.
happened from it.
And I mean, they had gotten some DNA
Mhm.
out of his car, and they've tested that DNA against several people, but no matches. It's just frustrating because, these investigators too are like, they're working the mess out of this case. They're
Mhm.
pouring over it, pouring over it. I mean, the fact that it was asked to be re-looked at by a whole nother set of eyes is
Yeah.
great because
Mhm.
sometimes that's what it needs, but it doesn't. I mean, with the time that has passed, we're now 2026. It doesn't appear that those fresh eyes found anything new.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, everybody wants, especially his family, wants whoever did this to pay for what they did.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anybody listening out there who may have some information on this case is encouraged to call the Blount County Sheriff's Office. You can also submit a tip on the Blount County Sheriff's Office webpage, which is bluntalsheriff.org. And you can go to the crime tips tab.
Mhm.
Their non-emergency number is 205-625-4127. So you can also submit via email, and the link to their email is actually on their website as well. But it is suggest
Mhm.
at bluntalsheriff.org.
So you can suggest or like leave a tip or even if you maybe thought you saw something or knew something, just submit it.
It's again one of those situations where we always say, see something, say something,
Yeah.
even if you think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes it matters. Sometimes that one little tiny piece of info you've been
Yeah.
holding on to
Like
can blow it up.
right. Like your friend's boyfriend mentioned something one time and you're like, "Oh, that's not real." But then you're like, "Hold on, maybe that could be significant." Tell them.
Right. You never know
Mhm.
until you try. Very sad
Yeah,
case.
very.
And it sucks because, like I said, both of these are so young. So our next case is Kandace Faulk. This is in Huntsville, and she was 22 years old, and her friends actually found her initially, and then they called the cops at 2:30 in the morning. She was found shot to death inside of her apartment. There's really no named person of interest in her case.
Mhm.
They think that it was probably a domestic dispute, but did not give information past that, which, like, they'll say, oh, we suspect it was domestic. So then you have to think that if they think it's domestic, they must
Right.
have an idea of who they think it was. But she was found on December 4th, 2015. I don't know what's going on in December in Alabama,
Right. Like you're all restless or something? Like, come on.
but goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Now, here's where her case gets a little weird, and it's not really related to her case,
Mhm.
but it's something you don't think would be a thing once you've passed away. Alabama knows that you've passed away, or at least you think they do. A Madison County grand jury apparently indicted her for theft in December of 2016, the year after. So, apparently, the records from the Madison County Circuit Clerk's office show that this grand jury true billed that they heard sufficient evidence to believe that a crime was committed. She had been arrested, I guess, in October.
Okay.
Before she died, the October of 2015.
Okay.
For first-degree theft after being accused of stealing more than $2,700 in merchandise from a local Walmart.
Okay.
No one really knows how or when prosecutors or even a defense attorney gets notified when a defendant in a case dies. But I have to wonder if this isn't like in this case, it's not like they died and you're trying them for murder. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm having to wonder if this isn't like a complete waste of money as far as our legal system goes.
Right.
When it comes to something like that. But there was people tried to reach out to see, get comment on this and what the procedure is. But there's nobody wanting to disclose this, probably because they don't know either.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm not sure that there is a procedure. But some other cases where this has happened in Alabama, there was a man who was shot and killed during a dispute with his neighbor in October, and at the time was facing a charge of making terrorist threats. But this guy was at least indicted before he died and just had court after. There was another person who was killed, she had died and 4 of her immediate family members had also been killed at the same time.
Wow.
And she was actually in the middle of a divorce. And so they had to her divorce attorney had to actually file a document called a suggestion of death.
Holy crap.
Because of her divorce filings.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think that once you die, a whole bunch of legal stuff can still be happening to you and you're not even there to defend yourself. So that's literally the only information in her case. She was shot in her apartment. They think it was domestic.
And
her friends found her at 2:30 in the morning, and there's zero information other than that. It's crazy that that's it.
Oh, right. And I mean, if they investigate and can't find anything, that's one thing, but there's always something. You're going to find some kind of evidence or something to kind of, push it. I know things go cold, but
yeah,
nobody knew anything. This is a young girl.
Yeah. I mean, they say they think that they know who could possibly do it. They don't name this person as a person of interest.
So
they
could
don't
be just
arrest
an ongoing
anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing.
Wow. Well, hopefully something becomes of both of those cases, because that's 2 young lives that are just sitting in a cold case box somewhere.
Right. And mind you now, the Alabama Cold Case Advocacy has a Facebook page, and they they will continuously share all these cold cases over and over and over again in hopes that something will come of it. But in her case, if you guys have any information on what could have happened to Kandace inside her apartment, maybe a neighbor heard something and hasn't said something, you can reach out to the Huntsville Police Department at 256-427-7001. It's in this case, if you heard something, say something.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure being shot inside your apartment makes noise.
Yeah, somebody heard something in
and
an apartment.
Even if it wasn't the gunshots themselves that you heard, something happened before that.
Yeah, you heard yelling. You heard a male voice or a female voice or multiple voices, something.
So
Apartments aren't soundproof.
So speak up if you live there in December of 2015.
Yep. Do it. Well, those were two.
I told you they were
depressing
short with nothing
cases.
for very young people who no doubt were loved by people, by families, friends, all of that,
and deserve to have their cases out there. And even on our small podcast, like, we have people that listen, so we can push those out even farther.
Yeah, and that's the point, is just to try to get it out there a little bit more, and hope somebody's paying attention.
Yep. Do you know who pays attention to our podcast?
Patty Salzetta. I think it's just because she wants to listen to the theme music she made for us.
I think so too. She's like, get to the theme music. All right. There we go. That's my jam. Literally, that's my jam.
Yes. It is our jam.
It's his.
And if Sweet Tea After Dark is your jam, we'd like to also get some stories submitted. And then, as always, if you have a cold case that you would like us to share, please submit that too.
We'll research it. We'll share it. Like, you're like, you know what hasn't got a lot of attention? This.
Yes. So, always welcome to reach out to us at holdmysweetteapodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And we hope everybody enjoys their Memorial Day weekend and barbecue and don't get drunk and hang out with
family,
old men and DJs.
And your family, other people that you love.
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
Yep. You never know. And as always, Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And you guys remember to stay safe out there. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping.
Bye.